Hi, Shermie. What's up, friends? It's Megan. I'm here today with another video. I'm going to be sharing my Four Nations Readathon TBR with you. The Four Nations Readathon is based on Avatar: The Last Airbender, one of my, if not my favorite TV show of all time. So I was very excited to take part in this readathon. I am going to be aiming for level 6 and 7 of Water Tribe, as well as the healing, bloodbending skills, and joining the Foggy Swamp Tribe. So I have a ton of books to share with you today. First, we'll go through the level 6 prompts. Prompt number 1 for level 6 is to read a book with a ship on the cover. For this, I'm going to be reading Race to Crash Point Tower because they did not specify what kind of ship it had to be. So I'm taking this into my own hands and using a spaceship. So Race to Crash Point Tower is the next middle grade in the High Republic arc of the Star Wars saga. And I've really been enjoying this, and I'm excited to learn these new characters because this is now a new author joining the fray, and we're getting some new characters added into the arc. So super exciting stuff. And the next prompt to become a Harbor Master, or level 6, is to read a book near water but on land. And I actually had to do some research for this one. I'm going to be picking up The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. This will be my first Christina Lauren novel, which is super exciting. I've actually been dying to pick this one up for a summer read for quite some time, so this is going to be perfect. In this, we are following the maid of honor and best man of a wedding who hate each other. However, for some odd circumstance, neither of them eat the buffet that everyone else has eaten, and this buffet caused food poisoning throughout the entire party, including to the bride and groom. So therefore, the bride and groom cannot go on their honeymoon, and the maid of honor and best man are somehow forced to take this honeymoon for them. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm so here for it, and I can't wait to pick this up for a nice adult romance, fun, quick summer read. The next prompt is to read a book that someone picks for you out of 5. So I gave 5 choices to my friends in a group chat, and several of them picked The Promised Neverland Volume 11 for me. They knew well to pick a short book for me, so I'm very thankful that they went with The Promised Neverland. I'm very excited to pick this one up. You've heard me rave about this probably enough, so I'm just going to not keep talking about it, but it's my favorite manga ever. So with those 3 prompts, we will complete the level 6 Harbor Master, and then moving on to level 7, the Chief of the Water Tribe. I'm going to be reading 4 prompts for this. The first is to read a book with a trope you like. One of my favorite tropes is actually to read books with elemental magic, so I'm going to be picking up Wind Witch for this one. This also fits the trope of like sea/pirate vibes because our Wind Witch is actually a sailor of some sort, and I'm excited to pick this one up. It's the second book of the Witchlands novel series, equal to Truth Witch. I read Truth Witch in June, so it just makes sense to pick up Wind Witch in July. Moving on to a trope you dislike, I will be picking up A Reaper at the Gates for this. I actually don't know if the love triangle continues to the 3rd book. I haven't even read the 2nd book yet. I need to get on that soon. But this is the 3rd book of the Ember and the Ashes quartet, and I absolutely adored the 1st book, and I need to read the 2nd and 3rd book immediately. Next is to read a book that is set in winter and or the North or South Pole. For this, I'm going to be picking up Neverland Volume 12. And you can actually see on the cover that there's like a winter landscape, so I'm going to be reading that for set in winter. And similar to the end of level 6, for level 7, I had to have a friend choose out of 5 books. So I asked my friend Callum, and he chose We Hunt the Flame for me. This is We Hunt the Flame by House of Faisal. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything going into it. I just know, I have the feeling that this is going to be a 5 stars for me. Moving on to books that will help me obtain the healing skill. The first is to read a book with heal or healing in the title. So I'm going to be picking up The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. The only thing I know about this is it says, "Don't let her die, we are coming." That's all I know. I typically don't know a lot going into my book subscription books because I don't like to read the synopsis. I like to have a surprise about what I'm going into, but it has the word heal and healer, so I'm going to count it towards that. Next is to read a book over 650 pages. And luckily for me, Wings of Shadow fits that prompt. Wings of Shadow is my most anticipated read of the year. It is the third and final book of the Crown of Feathers trilogy. I talk about it in pretty much every video you see on my channel, so I'm not going to go much further. But look at this cover. It's gorgeous. I'm so excited. And finally, for healing, I had to have someone who either has the healing power or one of the hosts of the Readathon pick from 10 books, and I had someone pick Take a Hurt, Dani Brown for me. This is the sequel to Get a Life, Chloe Brown, or the second book of the Brown Sisters trilogy. It's adult romance, and this book has the element of fake dating. Next, I'm going for Bloodbending. And you guys, I'm probably really screwing myself over with these next three because the first one is to pick a book with blood on the cover or in the title. So I'm going with From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's quite the shocker. This book tells the story of Poppy, who is a maiden and has never been touched, and her bodyguard Hart, and her bodyguard Hawk, who is basically they fall in love. I've heard that this book gets super spicy, but yeah, it's basically a chunker leading into the next prompt, which is a book over 650 pages. So I'll be picking up Nine of Swords, also quite the chunker. This one alone is 760 pages, so yeah, it's gonna take some time. Nine of Swords was a book sent to me for review by Brooklyn Quintana, and we are following a group of students who face trials that could lead them to the death. And in this, there's elements of magic and fantasy, and I'm 160 pages in so far on July 3rd and really enjoying it. And then finally, for the third bloodbending prompt, I had to have someone who is a bloodbender or host pick from 10 as well, and they chose The Rising Storm, which is also a chunker. So I really screwed myself over with these three, but I'm gonna enjoy it anyways. And finally, I'm going to try to join the Foggy Swamp tribe, and that is 2 prompts, and I really eased it out on this one because of the last 3 prompts. The first one is to read a book with vines on the cover, so I'm going to be reading The Promised Neverland Volume 15. The vines are down here, very exciting. And the final prompt for this readathon I'm going to be pursuing is Foggy Swamp Tribe Prompt 2, a book with a swamp on the cover, and I'm going to be reading Swamp Thing. So this is by Maggie Stiefvater, Swamp Thing Twin Branches. It looks adorable. So those are all the books I'm going to be reading for the Four Nations Readathon. Let me know if you're joining or what books you're reading in July, and I'll check you in my next one. Bye everyone!